Then answered Bildad the Shuhite, and said, How long will it be until you make an end of words? Mark, and afterwards we will speak. Why are we counted as beasts, and reputed vile in your sight? He tears himself in his anger. Will the earth be forsaken for you? And will the rock be removed out of his place? Yea, the light of the wicked will be put out, and the spark of his fire will not shine. The light will be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle will be put out with him. The steps of his strength will be straightened, and his own counsel will cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walks upon a snare. The jinn will take him by the heel, and the robber will prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors will make him afraid on every side, and will drive him to his feet. His strength will be hunger-bitten, and destruction will be ready at his side. It will devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death will devour his strength. His confidence will be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it will bring him to the king of terrors. It will dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone will be scattered upon his habitation. His roots will be dried up beneath, and above will his branch be cut off. His remembrance will perish from the earth, and he will have no name in the street. He will be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world. He will neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him will be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that does not know God. Then Job answered and said, How long will you vex my soul, and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times have you reproached me. You are not ashamed that you make yourselves strange to me. And be it indeed that I have erred, my error remains with myself. If indeed you will magnify yourselves against me, and plead against me my reproach, know now that God has overthrown me, and has compassed me with his net. Behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no judgment. He has fenced up my way that I cannot pass. He has set darkness in my paths. He has stripped me of my glory, and taken the crown from my head. He has destroyed me on every side, and I am gone, and my hope he has removed like a tree. He has also kindled his wrath against me, and he counted me to him as one of his enemies. His troops come together, and raise up their way against me, and encamp round about my tabernacle. He has put away my brethren far from me, and my acquaintance are truly estranged from me. My kinsfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgotten me. They that dwell in my house, and my maids, count me for a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. I called my servant, and he gave me no answer. I entreated him with my mouth. My breath is strange to my wife, though I entreated for the children's sake of my own body. Yea, young children despised me. I arose, and they spoke against me. All my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. My bone cleaves to my skin, and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me, have pity upon me, O my friends, for the hand of God has touched me. Why do you persecute me as God, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were printed in a book, that they were graven with an iron pen, and lead in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer lives, and that he will stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh will I see God, whom I will see for myself, and my eyes will behold, and not another. though my reins be consumed within me. But you should say, why do we persecute him, seeing the root of the matter is found in me? But be afraid of the sword, for wrath brings the punishments of the sword, that you may know there is a judgment. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite, and said, Therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, and for this I make haste. I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causes me to answer. Do you not know this of old, since man was placed on the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mounts up to the heavens, and his head reach to the clouds, yet he will perish forever like his own dung. They that have seen him will say, Where is he? He will fly away as a dream, and will not be found. Yea, he will be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also that saw him will see him no more, neither will his place any more behold him. His children will seek to please the poor, and his hands will restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, that will lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned, it is the gall of asps within him. He has swallowed down riches, and he will vomit them up again. God will cast them out of his belly. He will suck the poison of asps, the viper's tongue will slay him. He will not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That what he has labored for will he restore, and will not swallow it down. According to his substance will the restitution be, and he will not rejoice therein. Because he has oppressed and has forsaken the poor, because he has violently taken away a house that he built not. Surely he will not feel quietness in his belly. He will not save of that what he desired. There will none of his meat be left. Therefore will no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he will be in straits. Every hand of the wicked will come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God will cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and will rain it upon him while he is eating. He will flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel will strike him through. It is drawn, and comes out of the body, yea, the glittering sword comes out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness will be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown will consume him. It will go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven will reveal his iniquity, and the earth will rise up against him. The increase of his house will depart, and his goods will flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from God, and the heritage appointed to him by God. But Job answered and said, Hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolations. Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mock on. As for me, is my complaint to man? And if it were so, why should not my spirit be troubled? Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember I am afraid, and trembling takes hold on my flesh. Why do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power? Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of God upon them. Their bull genders, and fails not. Their cow calves, and casts not her calf. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They take the timbrel and harp, and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. Therefore they say to God, Depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of your ways. What is the Almighty, that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray to him? Their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft comes their destruction upon them. God distributes their sorrows in his anger. They are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carries away. God lays up his iniquity for his children. He rewards them, and he will know it. His eyes will see his destruction, and he will drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what pleasure does he have in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst? Will any teach God knowledge, seeing he judges those that are high? One dies in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breasts are full of milk, and his bones are moistened with marrow. And another dies in the bitterness of his soul, and never eats with pleasure. They will lie down alike in the dust, and the worms will cover them. Behold, I know your thoughts, and the devices that you wrongfully imagine against me. For you say, where is the house of the prince, and where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have you not asked them that go by the way, and do you not know their tokens? That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They will be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who will declare his way to his face, and who will repay him for what he has done? Yet will he be brought to the grave, and will remain in the tomb. The clods of the valley will be sweet to him, and every man will draw after him, as there are innumerable before him. How then do you comfort me in vain, seeing your answers there remain in falsehood? Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, Can a man be profitable to God, as he that is wise may be profitable to himself? Is there any pleasure to the Almighty that you are righteous, or is it gain to him that you make your ways perfect? Will he reprove you for fear of you? Will he enter with you into judgment? Is not your wickedness great, and your iniquity infinite? For though you have taken a pledge from your brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing, you have not given water to the weary to drink, and you have withheld bread from the hungry. But as for the mighty man, he had the earth, and the honorable man dwelt in it. You have sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Therefore snares are round about you, and sudden fear troubles you, or darkness that you cannot see, and abundance of waters cover you. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold, the height of the stars, how high they are. And you say, how does God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him, that he sees not, and he walks in the circuit of heaven. Have you marked the way of old that wicked men have trodden, that were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overflown with a flood, who said to God, Depart from us, and what can the Almighty do for them? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. The righteous see it and are glad, the innocent laugh them to scorn. Whereas our substance is not cut down, but the remnant of them the fire consumes. Acquaint now yourself with him, and be at peace, thereby good will come to you. Receive, I pray you, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you will be built up. You will put away iniquity far from your tabernacles. Then you will lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brooks. Yeah, the Almighty will be your defense, and you will have plenty of silver. For then you will have your delight in the Almighty, and will lift up your face to God. You will make your prayer to him, and he will hear you, and you will pay your vows. You will also decree a thing, and it will be established to you, and the light will shine upon your ways. When men are cast down, then you will say, There is lifting up, and he will save the humble person. He will deliver the island of the innocent, and it is delivered by the pureness of your hands.